Hey guys, today I'm going to talk about the mythology of Taurus, and I'm going to put a symbol for Taurus up here. It's called a glyph because if you're interested in astrology, I'm going to tie in the myth to what Taurus means in a chart so that you can read it. So remember these stories when you're trying to interpret the zodiac sign of Taurus in the chart. Anyway, let's get into the first myth of Taurus. So the first myth is related to Europa and the bull. So basically, there was this maiden hanging out with her ladies, and Jupiter saw her and he was like, damn, that's a fine lady. I like Europa. So he had Mercury like push a bunch of cattle like into the field, into the area where Europa was. And Jupiter happened to take the form of one of these bulls, and he was a super hot bull, maybe super sexy guy. Um, because these are the bull may not actually be a bull, it might represent like a young, like hot guy or something. So he was this bull who like smelled really nice and was beautiful, and Europa was just enchanted with him. And so the bull was like, hey, why don't you get on my back and take a ride? And so she was like, sure. She gets on the back of the bull, and the bull starts to swim in the ocean, and Europa gets like super freaked out. And the bull is swimming and swimming. And then they finally get to land, and Jupiter's like, hey, I want you to be mine. If you get together with me, I will give you this land of Europe, and you'll basically be known as like the maiden that was associated with the founder of Europe. So Taurus is associated with earthly things, like with the body, with the physical realm, and with being able to conquer your realm in a way that like you rule over your own area in a way that gives you pleasure, comfort, harmony, and also power over your life and over other people, but in a harmonious way and through your relationships with people. So having like this harmonious relationships with people, knowing that keeping chill and, you know, like nurturing those relationships with other people that are close to you is going to help you to get your needs met. Remember, earth sign, we need money, we need physical things, we need food, a place to live. So Taurus fixed earth, it wants to rule over its domain to have the nice things in life. The next myth we have is the Maiden Io, who Jupiter fell in love with. I talked about her in the Jupiter myth. And so she was a maiden who ended up getting turned into a cow herself by the the goddess Hera, who was super jealous that her husband had fallen in love with Io. She was not feeling it, and she sent the monster Argus. So it also relates to Mercury. The monster Argus had these many eyes and taunted Io. And so Mercury like slayed Argus, and she still struggled a little bit more. She was like thrown into water, whatnot. But eventually, in some of the myths, she made her way down to Egypt and had a baby who was an ancestor of the like man god Hercules. And so Io eventually became associated with the goddess Isis, who is similar to Venus. Now, Venus rules over Taurus, and she was able to rule over her domain. So, with Io and becoming Isis, and even with Europa and the bull, Taurus is associated with stability in the earthly realm, in having a place where you go, where you don't have to wander around, where you don't have to be scared. That's what Taurus is working towards, having stability, having the comfort and the earthly things that we need in life to keep us comfortable and not wander around. So Io overcame her mental distress by being able to set up shop in Egypt and turn into a goddess, basically. And Europa overcame her fear by going, okay, Jupiter, I'm going to go with what I believe in what you're giving me right now, like rulership over land, sounds good because I have security and stability there, and I'm not going to have to worry anymore about what's going to happen to me by ruling my domain and making sure all of my ducks are in a row in a slow, solid, and secure way. So that is Taurus. I hope you enjoyed this myth of Taurus. My next myth is going to be on Gemini.